What is up, everyone? I'm coming on here for a couple of plays for today. Definitely not as good of a day as we've had the past couple of days. You will see right here, we have Santos and we took him under. He does hit a 3 within the last 5 minutes of the game, I believe, and does go over. So that's unfortunate there. I will say Skewmond is already at 12.5. Like I said yesterday, his line's probably going to bump all the way down to 11.5. So I'm not going to take him in this video. I might take him later in the week or later in the weekend because he's playing on Monday morning, I believe. So I still really like this at 12.5 just as an additional play you guys can take. We did hit this one here overnight on Underdog Fantasy. Again, this is a 3.5x. I've talked quite a lot about Underdog and why it's so profitable because of the new 3.5x's that they released. They used to give out 3x's for these two-mans. Now they give out 3.5x's. And I'm telling you guys firsthand, the 3.5x's feel so much better to hit than the 3-mans because, than the 3x's because 3x's, you kind of hit them everywhere on PrizePicks, on Sleeper, and how it works is if you hit 1 out of every 3 entries for a 3x, you would break completely even, right? You have three entries that you took, you hit 1 of them, that would completely break you even. Now that is going to actually profit you because this is a 3.5x. You'll see this one here. We did miss this one here with Magic's. These guys, this Team Spirit, which is top 2 team in the world, played absolutely horrible and they got 2-0'd. And Magic's ended up playing really bad because his team played really bad. This one was yesterday's play of the day. It did unfortunately not hit. And then this one with Cuts Moretz does go ahead and miss as well. And then we do have this one set up for later today. This is happening at 2 p.m. So fingers crossed with this one. And then, like I said, I didn't say, but with PrizePicks, you'll see here that I took 2 guys to go over together. They actually end up going under together. So this is very correlated. And then I took 2 guys to go under together, and these guys actually did go under together. And I didn't watch this game, but I can tell you guys right now that these guys for sure lost their games because this guy only got 1 kill and this guy only got 2 kills. So this is the prime, correlation, as you guys will see. When I take overs or unders together, you're going to see these guys go over or under together. Now, the past couple of days have been absolutely amazing. We hit on this channel a couple of times. We hit a 5x. We hit on the underdog play as well a couple of days ago. We've been hitting a ton on the straight bets. We're actually on 11-3 run on the straight bets. Yesterday's straight bet, which was with Sam, I think his name's Sam Merritt on the Celtics. He ended up DMPing, so he got announced out right before that game, unfortunately. But it was just a DMP. And then here was probably about 3 days ago now, we had a really massive day going up about 15 units. And this was a 9.25x that we went ahead and hit. And this was a 4.25x that we went ahead and hit. And again, using that same correlation that I just showed you guys on that loss, this is how we hit some of these big entries on PrizePicks, hitting 4-mans, 3-man, stuff like that, right, guys? So the main thing I do want to get across is that over a long period of time, we're extremely profitable. We're going to have days that we go down a little bit like we did yesterday. We're going to have days that we go up a ton like we did, the past couple of days. You have to keep a steady head because these things are going to happen in sports betting, right? You're not going to find a linear path in sports betting. It's going to look a lot like this. Here's the past 2 years. You're going to see there's a lot of ups and downs in this graph, right? There's a lot of bumps, peaks, valleys, stuff like that, which is what I always talk about. If you guys want a full unit count, guys, you can pretty much add these 2 numbers up. The addition of these 2 numbers would be 93. So we're up 93 units so far, about 2.5 months into the year right now, which is really solid, right? PrizePicks Underdog, we're up about 64 units, 8% ROI. You'll see the record here. We lose a lot more than we win record-wise on these parlays. Why? Because a lot of the parlays I take are 3-mans and 4-mans, so they're not going to hit very often, but when they do hit, they might pay out a 9x or a 10x. And then here's the straight bets that we have been crushing on ONYX and REBET, and we are 70 and 45. Okay, so 70 wins, 45 losses. We've almost doubled the amount of wins that we have than losses. 21% ROI, 31 units. The only reason why we have more units on PrizePicks and Underdog is just because I don't send out as many straight bets. I just don't find as much value, honestly, on the straight bets sometimes than I do over here. But when I do send out the straight bets, they decide to hit quite a lot. All right, so you'll see here is this channel. The past about 2 weeks on this channel, we're on 11-3 run. And again, a lot of these straight bets that I talk about on ONYX, on REBET, are not out of the money. They're not like super overdogs, right? It's not like I'm taking minus 500 or minus 1,000 to win. A lot of these are, plus 114, minus 105, plus 107. A lot of these are 50-50 odds, right? So some people can always flex records and be like, hey, look, we're hitting 200 of them and we've only missed 50. But then, you're taking only minus 600 teams or something like that, right? A lot of these are very even lines, and that's why, you know, it's great that we're being able to profit, being able to have a really good record and an insane amount of ROI on these different apps like ONYX and like REBET. Okay, so first pick of the day is going to actually go ahead and be on ONYX odds. Again, this is one of the straight bet apps I talk about. Straight bet is pretty much anything that's not a parlay. So parlay is going to be 2, 3, 4 mans. This is a straight bet, so it's just straight up Desmond Bane over 4.5 rebounds. Again, you guys can sign up for ONYX odds, get a free $100 in free picks, so obviously do that. Text me ONYX to my number right here, and I'll get you guys 1 free month of the VIP, and as well, you'll get that $100 in free picks on ONYX odds. You'll pretty much start out with that $100. I think you'll start out with $120 because you get that $10 that you spend, you get matched that money, and then you'll have a free $100 in free picks. So you pretty much start out with $120, and you can build up from there, right? You can build up to a couple $100, a couple $1,000, and really go from there. Like I said, the past couple of days or past couple of weeks on Underdog Fantasy, I started with like $200 just because I had it laying around in my account. They swapped a lot, some of the rules and the different payouts on Underdog, and I'm already up to like $600 in my Underdog account, looking to go to a couple thousand here in the next couple of months, and maybe even weeks, right? Just depends how good we're going to be doing on Underdog there. So ONYX odds, guys, Desmond Bane over 4.5 rebounds is going to be the first play of the day. This is at plus 128. So go ahead and take this all the way down to plus 120. All right. So plus 128 is great. Take it all the way down to plus 120. And yeah, this is going to be the first pick of the day on ONYX. Again, you know, we are on a really good run on these straight bets. So let's try to go ahead and keep it going. Second pick of the day is going to be on Underdog Fantasy, guys. I've talked a lot about Underdog Fantasy this month. Pretty much every day I've devoted a minute or two of these videos to Underdog Fantasy because it's the most profitable app out right now. It just ended up being that way literally like maybe 20 days ago because they ended up changing the payouts of Underdog Fantasy from 3x's to 3.5x's, which is a massive shift, right? It doesn't sound like a lot, but it is a lot over a long term, especially when you're talking about being a profitable bettor. Getting that extra 0.5x is massive. So credit to Underdog for doing that. Also, it's going to start changing up a lot of the other apps and what their payouts are, right? I showed this a couple of days ago, but Sleeper emailed me and they said they're going to start doing improved payouts on Sleeper. So Sleeper has already responded to Underdog doing this just under like 3 weeks ago. And Sleeper already emailed me and they said, we're going to start doing improved payouts. Why? Because Underdog's putting pressure on the industry, guys. They're putting pressure out there and they're saying, hey, we have the best payouts right now. You have to respond or you're going to fall behind. And it's great that they did that because now all these apps like Sleeper and Better and PrizePicks are going to have to respond to Underdog in the next couple of months or they're going to fall behind, right? Again, with Sleeper, guys, you can text me Sleeper, 2 months free of the VIP, deposit into Sleeper, and I'll Venmo Cash App you back $10 that you go ahead and put in to use to sign up, so it's completely risk-free. And the play of the day on Underdog Fantasy is going to be in Call of Duty and in Counter-Strike, okay? So I love taking these esports lines on Underdog. They honestly have the most esports lines out of all apps, right? Even more than PrizePicks sometimes. And some of these picks are just insane, right? They're insanely good. Let me show you guys this one right here with this guy with this BRN money sign. I don't know how you say his name, but his line, we got him at 29.5. His line is already 27.5. So it's bumped down by 2 kills. So these plays might do that. You're going to find that a lot on Underdog Fantasy, guys. I'm taking this Nerjra guy to go under 23.5 kills, and I'm taking Truck Lover to go over 28.5 kills in this game for Counter-Strike right here, happening at 7:30 p.m. Central Time. All right, guys. So again, very important to understand this is a 3.5x, which is extremely important. You're getting a better payout for this than you would on PrizePicks or any other app really in the industry, unless some other app changes out their payouts like they did with Underdog Fantasy. Okay, so that's going to be the second play of the day. Third pick of the day is going to be right here on PrizePicks. This is going to be a 3x. Like I said, I would really like to take PrizePicks and take them as a 3.5x, but that's only available on Underdog. And I'm going to take Ware, and I'm going to take him under 12.5 points. That's going to be the first pick on PrizePicks today. Really like this play. I would take him at 12.5. I would also take him at 12. If he bumps in the 11 ranges, so 11.5, probably would stay away from it, just being honest. NBA is all about getting lines as soon as possible, and pretty much how I take them, because these 0.5 differences can make a huge difference, right? It can be the difference between them hitting at 12 or missing at 12, right? If you take it 11.5, if he gets 12 points, I would hit. Everyone who takes it at 12.5 would hit, but if you take it 11.5, you would obviously miss. And it's just a really fine line that you have to walk when you're taking NBA plays. And then the second play of the day is going to be a Call of Duty kind of correlated entry right here. I mean, this is just one pick that we're taking, but we're taking a Busy, Scrap, and Hydra, and we pretty much just need this team to win, okay? They're heavily favored. It is LA versus New York. New York is the team that is not very favored at all. They're like plus 400 or something to win right now. So I do believe LA ends up winning this game, which again, they are favored in terms of winning based on the sports books, right? That's not coming from me. That's coming from Bovada. That's coming from different sites like Pinnacle, like Thunder Pick, which is an eSports focused sports book. So it's not just coming from me, guys. You have to sometimes look at these sports books. These sports books know what they're talking about, right? They have a lot of data. They have way more data and knowledge than you and I. And these books know that LA is very favored to win. So if LA does win this game, these guys are likely to get a lot of kills. And when they do get a lot of kills, they're obviously going to get a lot of kills together and go ahead and try to hit this line right here. Okay, guys. So over 175, very similar to the NBA, is that, try to take this as close to 175 as possible. What we do want to see is we want to take it at 175, and then by game time, we want to see this bump up to like 177 or something like that. That would be great, because it pretty much confirms that we got a good pick, right? We were right about them going over. We were right about them 175 being too low, and we're going to take them over, and hopefully they'll bump up by game time so that we know that it was a good pick and we got good closing line value on that. Okay, guys. So this is going to be the pick on PrizePicks. This is going to be the pick on Underdog. This is going to be the pick on ONYX odds, guys. You guys know where to find me. My number is up here on the screen. You guys can sign up for Sleeper, Novig, ONYX, Underdog. I'm trying to think what else I talked about today, but a lot of different apps. I highly recommend Underdog right now, and I highly recommend ONYX or REBET to take the straight bets, right? Because that's what's been on fire. That's going to continue being on fire the rest of the year. So, that's what we're going to use to really win a lot this year is sites like Underdog and ONYX and REBET for the straight bets. Okay, so thank you guys again. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.